What's up, guys? I'm Monty Mont.
I'm Nate the Great.
I'm B Squared.
And the new Batman film. We have not seen it yet.
Not yet.
But we still gonna talk about some stuff. Okay, guys, let's get into it. There's buzz, man. So for we seen it, this is going to be Batman week. All right. This is big. This is huge. All right. We've been waiting for this. The new Batman movie, as of today, will come out in a couple of days. Well, for the general public, some of the nerds are already jumping in on it, doing what they got to do. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. Robert Pattinson, of course, Zoe Kravitz, directed by Matt Reeves. A lot of high expectations. This is, of course, this is kind of like, you know, every couple of years, a car maker, they change the Camaro or they'll change the Chevy truck or whatever, it's, you know, and change the body style. So we're changing it up. Got a new Batman, and you know, everybody's kind of very excited. Paul Dano, of course, as the Riddler. Sky's the limit. So as we do on We've Seen It, we're going to talk, but we're going to now give you a couple of theme shows this week. And we're going to start off this theme show with, we call it Batman Versus. Okay, when I say Batman Versus, we just, you know, we're going to talk about, you know, could Batman beat ... All right. Now there's some canon, you know, some things that we're going to talk about that are somewhat in comic books, but I'm going to tell my panel to just go with your heart, go with your gut. You don't have to stick with the comic book that was out in 1992 in canon. I mean, if you want to, you can, but we're just going to talk, you know what I'm saying, tit for tat, what we think. So let's get into it to begin with. Now let's I heard a very good debate on one, and we'll get to that one later. But so you know, if you know anything about Batman, I mean, it's Bruce Wayne. The appeal of Batman is that he is still a man, not super powered or enhanced, so to speak, but very rich, very smart, you know, well trained, you know, League of Shadows, Ra's al Ghul, you know, has a lot of things at his disposal, Lucius, the whole crew. So we know, and he's very resourceful, very resourceful. So we put it like that. So you have to take that in mind. So let's just go with a heavy hitter to start off with, and one who is kind of his Marvel mirror image, if you say that. So Batman versus Iron Man. Let's get into it. Okay. You know, Bruce Wayne versus Tony Stark. Nate, I'm going to start with you. Just first of all, before we even get into brass tacks, just when I say that, where do you immediately lean to when I say Batman versus Iron Man?
Wow, that's honestly, it's kind of hard because I'm trying to encapsulate all their abilities and all their intelligence and stuff, including their riches and their resources. So it's kind of hard for me to say which one do I lean to, because if I give one a point in one area, the other person will get a point in another area. Part of me honestly wants to say Batman only because of his fighting styles, and he knows, you know, more combat. But then again, I want to say Iron Man because I believe Iron Man is a little more intellectual than Batman, and he has more access to resources and stuff, which is arguable. But I want to lean. That's hard. It's hard. I think I'm gonna say, just based off of the fact that I think Iron Man has more resources, and I think that he's a little bit more richer than Batman. I could be wrong on that, but I think he is. Either way, I think he's more smart. He's smarter than Batman. I'm gonna go with Iron Man on this one. I know I've seen a lot of I've actually seen debates about this. I've seen YouTube videos about this. It can go either way. I'm gonna go with Iron Man, and that's what I'm gonna say.
All right. B Squared, if you give us your expert opinion, sir.
Well, that's kind of funny because earlier today, someone showed me a video about Batman versus Iron Man. So generally, I would lean towards Batman, but now that I think about it, Tony Stark is largely underestimated. Like, he has so much in his disposal. He has so many suits, so many designs, so many gadgets that Batman does have the gadgets, he does have the suit, but Iron Man's suits are like connected to him. It's like he has a different attachment to them rather than just armor. It's like a part of him. So I would have to give it to Iron Man on this one.
Well, and very quickly, let's kind of get into that. The bat suit versus the Iron Man suit, basically. And you know, we've seen Iron Man suits do a lot of stuff, you know, take a whole lot of lickings and keep on ticking. Batman ideally too. I mean, but it almost seems like Iron Man suits make him totally indestructible. While the bat suit is good, it's movable, he can do things, but you wouldn't call it indestructible.
Right.
Like he can really, be injured with the suit on. Me personally, I hate doing it, but I kind of think about Tony Stark as Robert Downey Jr. And I feel like just in the scenario going into it, I just feel like he would be wisecracking so much and probably not take it that serious. And that, to me, that's always been his thing. Like, he don't really take the stuff serious till it's really, really serious. And Bruce is immediately going to take it serious, plot plan, all of these things like that, and probably use Tony's arrogance against him in some kind of way. I just see that happening just with all the gadgets, like you say, matching it. I don't know. That just...
It's also hard because it's a lot of factors in this. If we want to just say, like, just straight up, if they just met and started fighting, I'm gonna go with Iron Man. But if you said prep time, which they give Batman all the time, oh, if he had enough prep time, he'd be able to take on, the world, But in this case, if you did give Batman prep time to study Iron Man and stuff, I would actually lean towards Batman. And of course, when it comes to like just straight up combat, obviously Batman has the edge. So I guess it depends on a lot of factors. But just at face value, if I was just talking about resources and power and wit and intellect, I'm gonna have to go with Iron Man, But I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. Like Tony Stark is that kind of person. He doesn't really take anything seriously, and Batman is serious at all times, and he will eventually find a way to, I feel like, overcome him. But yeah, I'm gonna go Iron Man.
All right. Well, go ahead.
So, like, you were talking about Batman being too serious and Iron Man being witty and arrogant, but don't you think that sometimes he could be like too serious? Like, Iron Man can just like use that as an advantage. Like, Batman could be super focused on one aspect, and then like Iron Man is just like, I don't want to say Deadpool kind of, but like he's unpredictable in some events. So he could kind of use that to his advantage against him if it comes to that.
I think that in the Deadpool thing, we weren't going to bring that one up, but that is another good one. But the sillier we get, or the I should say, the more sarcastic or whatever character Batman would have to fight, to me, leads you down that Joker rabbit hole. And he's totally experienced taking on somebody who's wisecracking. Nobody's more wisecracking than the Joker, which again, that's why I feel like Batman would know how to kind of deal with all that silly stuff and keep, but it's a good point as well. Okay, so we're gonna get to another hard one, man. Let's go to another hard one here, boy. We're gonna start with B squared on this one, man. Now, again, first when I say it, give me your first inclination. I'm about to say it. Batman versus the King of Wakanda, Black Panther. What you got, B squared?
I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to give that to Black Panther. Okay, because Batman combat there, intellect there, but when it comes to the suits, he basically has no chance because Black Panther's suit is made out of vibranium for one, and it can absorb all like pressure or blows against him. And like the stronger that Batman hits, the stronger the force in the suit becomes. So I would have to, plus he does have combat as well. So I'm gonna have to give that one to the King right there.
Nate the Great.
Hey man, it's Black History Month. You already know what I'm finna say. Yes, sir. Black Panther all day. And I'm not just saying that to be biased. I'm dead serious because look, Batman has a bunch of gadgets, a bunch of resources, a ton of money, the whole shebang, fighting, all that. But Black Panther has the same thing. Now, he may not have as many gadgets as Batman, and he may not have as many tech and stuff, but what he does have is far more advanced what Batman can even comprehend. Not to mention that Black Panther actually has superpowers, heightened agility, heightened strength, that could overpower Batman. And then also the fact that Black Panther has all the fighting abilities of the past Black Panthers in him. He knows just about every single fighting style as well. So I'm definitely going to give it to Black Panther. I think Batman will get clapped every day. Every day.
You know what? I'm going to go with T'Challa as well, but I'm going to go. Nate, you alluded to this. You know, people always say the great advantage for Batman is if he has time to prepare. But I don't know, what do you prepare for with vibranium? There ain't no
can't.
Like, you can study that all you want, bro. Like, it's not kryptonite. It ain't, you know, it ain't, you know, there's nothing to really prepare with that. So, you know, take all the notes you want, you still got to deal with it. And so I feel like even at his best advantage, it would not matter in this kind of fight. I just feel like T'Challa's just, you know, got him beat and overmatched, and everything that Batman can do, he could do as well and better. Yeah. So I gotta go with T'Challa on that one, for sure. Okay, we got another one. Now this one is near and dear to my heart, guys. Now you might not know this, but we seen it, fans. My favorite superhero, my favorite all time. I mean, read so many comics. My favorite superhero is the Hulk. I'm a Hulk guy, big Hulk guy. All right. Now it is canonical that they did get into it once, and you know, in the canon, he got the best of the Hulk. So I'm gonna start with this. Heck, no, I don't care. Like, again, see, the thing about it is, and if you got to go deep into some Hulk stuff, there's iterations of the Hulk, different kind of Hulks. Just we get into that as well. But I'll give y'all. Let's just go Green Hulk. We don't got to go Red Hulk. We don't got to go Green Hulk. Right. Green Hulk. I'm just saying this again. Batman can prepare, but there's just a brute strength. And my thing is this. You know, depending on the situation, I feel like, because you cannot deny something with brute strength, no prepare time. I mean, we saw Bane fold old boy up. Okay, he broke him over his knee. That was just pure. He tried the tricks and all of that. You know what I mean? And oh, you think darkness is your ally? You know? Okay. Yeah, right. But he was like bump all the tricks, power on power, and he ain't have it. So I just feel like. And I know people, no, but you got to stand. The Hulk's not smart enough. Okay, fine, but I'm just saying they run into each other. Not no month to prepare. I'm going Hulk. That's my guy. I might be biased. So Nate the Great, give me your take.
That's a very fair synopsis. I'm a huge Hulk fan too. Matter of fact, him and Spider-Man are like my top people. I love the Hulk. I love reading more about his character as they write more comics. This is a really hard one too, because I know in the comics, Batman did beat the Hulk. I think he did outsmart him. Yeah. In an instance where they just meet up and they start fighting, I do think that Batman may get the best of him by outsmarting him at just regular base level Hulk, outsmarting, you know, the Savage Hulk. But again, that's another hard one, because the whole thing about the Hulk is the madder he gets, the stronger he gets. And he gets mad very easily by just the smallest thing. He just gets ticked off. And Batman's little batarangs and stuff is going to just tick him off, and he's going to get angrier and angrier. And not only is it the stronger he gets, just everything about him becomes more powerful. Even there was a comic where Wolverine said that it's harder to even cut his skin the angrier he gets, because he just gets, I mean, that's his whole power. That's why Stan Lee created him. It's just that's it. And so if Batman doesn't quickly find out a way how to put him down before he gets angry enough, good point. I think Hulk will come out on top if Batman does not quickly put him down. But knowing Batman, I feel like he will figure that out quick enough that he's going to get stronger, and he's going to try his best to put him down. So I'm going to give this one to Batman, actually, because Batman is very smart, and he's dealt with some pretty big and, you know, stupid guys. And so he'll put him down pretty fast. But if he gives Hulk just a little time, he's done. I'll lean to the Hulk, but this time I'm giving it to Batman.
Fair point. I will not be talking to you for the next 25 minutes. Fair point. B squared, give me your assessment, sir.
All right, so we all know there has been an instance where they have fought in the comics, And one I recently saw was that Batman beat the Hulk with knockout gas, which
Right.
makes no sense whatsoever.
I didn't.
So, like, that's complete garbage to me that he could beat him that easily. But the thing is, there's a difference between like strength and just like supernatural ability. Like, this dude is indestructible. Like, no suit that Batman can come up with or create or anything could literally take him out. So I would have to lean towards the Hawk on this one.
Preach this evening. I wish you'd preach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. I mean, that's all it is. I didn't B square. I wasn't gonna bring up the knockout. It was such a ridiculous.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Oh my God. Sometimes the disrespect on my boy is just.
Well, I mean, like for instance, the only way that the Illuminati in the comics were able to beat the Hulk was to send him to outer space or something.
Right.
So I feel like that's what Batman would do. He wouldn't try.
That's
to,
what
like,
I mean.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like a clean, like in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's not always a 1, 2, 3
Right.
disqualification, kind of thing like that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So real quick, guys. Now we're not going to get into Batman, Superman. I know everybody thinks that's coming. We could just kind of talk about it, but we've seen it.
Yeah.
It's such a. I mean, they fought 1,000 times. We've seen it. The Kryptonite, Ben Affleck standing over it. I mean, you can go
Injustice. Yeah.
right. Injustice. I mean,
So
you
many
can.
times.
Right, you can go play him on the video game and knock yourself out. I just want people to know now, so we're not gonna. But it's plenty. It's plenty. It's so much in the canon. We're trying to do some exotic ones that are a little bit different. Okay, we got 2 more. Next, now let's go to this one. I'm gonna start with you, Nate. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. This is a very interesting one here. We're gonna go Batman versus Black Widow.
Ooh.
Give me your first thought on that. Batman versus Black Widow. Hold that.
I'm gonna have to lean. I'm leaning more towards Batman on this one. I feel like Batman has much more experience than Black Widow. Now I know Black Widow was trained by the best of the best, but I mean, so was Batman. I mean, he took on Ra's al Ghul. I mean, Ra's al Ghul is not someone you just, what I'm saying. And the whole owls, I forgot what they're called, Owl Society or something like that. But yeah, Batman took on, yeah, there you go. Now Nat, she has great fighting styles. She has a good gadgets and stuff that she can use at her disposal. But I feel like Batman is not only more compatible with his fighting styles because he knows apparently knows every fighting style on Earth, but he's also stronger. He's also smarter. He can outsmart her in different ways, and that is tough. But I'm gonna have to lean towards Batman just because I feel like he has overall just much more experience than Nat does.
B squared.
I'm going to have to agree with Nate the Great on this one because that's just automatically what I think of as Batman. Black Widow has an amazing ability to master weapons and she has a great fighting style, but Batman has multiple fighting styles and he knows a lot about multiple weapons. So it's kind of an advantage and a disadvantage. So I'm going to lean towards Batman on this one.
Well, and that's the thing for me too, because I feel like, you got to understand too, Black Widow is like Batman where she is, she's not a super powered person, she's a regular person, well trained. But I feel like I said, Liz, of the regular people, Batman is the most, and you said a great word, Nate, experienced and dealt with. So in calling that in, he has to be number one against any regular kind of person that he could go against. Everybody else we've kind of talked about, even Iron Man, he's got a suit that makes him superhero, and the Hulk, things like that. I feel like, we're talking about superheroes like that, but for just the regular people, I would pick him, over Clint, you know what I'm saying? I would pick Batman, over all those other heroes that just are regular type of people. I take them over Ant-Man, so, but I'll put it like this. I mean, Black Widow is right She would probably be my next one in that
Yeah.
ranking of the regular powered heroes that I would
Mhm.
really rock with. So it would be close. And I mean, now if you know if sis come along with that, now we got a different story. I mean,
That's a different ball game.
this one, I might go with the girls, but just one-on-one, it would be close. But I would agree on Batman with that. So our last one. Now y'all know where we going on the last one. It's not Superman. It's this is what inspired me. I heard a heated debate on this one, man. So we already know B squared. Yes, say a little prayer. We're going with you first. Here it is. We got many iterations again. We got Michael Keaton. We've got George Clooney. We've got Val Kilmer. We've got Christian Bale. And in the right corner, in the left corner, we have Tobey Maguire. We have Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, Batman versus Spider-Man.
I love this.
Let's hear it. B squared, what you got?
Okay. This one's tough. This one's really tough. Is this like just like an encounter, like they just meet up, or is it like
you make the scenario, man, for your argument, whatever you want to make it for?
Okay. If they're just meeting up, I would have to. If they're just meeting up, I'm gonna have to give it to. Oh my gosh! This one. Okay. I think I got one. I'm going to give it to Spider-Man. Okay. This is why I choose Spider-Man. Batman, I feel like if he had maybe like a day, he doesn't even need a full day to combat Spider-Man. But like if they're just meeting up, for example, like I don't like using this example, but Spider-Man beat Cat, right? Because it was just like one encounter, took him down, had no idea what he was facing. So with Batman versus Spider-Man, Spider-Man of course has like the webs, of course, he has the spider sense, which is a huge factor. And Batman does have like great fighting ability, but it's different when you can't hit the other person. But I feel like it would be a good fight, just Batman thinking on the spot, he could combat some of the things that Spider-Man would do. But in the end, I feel like Spider-Man just has the upper advantage.
Good points. Nate the Great.
Look, if anybody watches Death Battle, you saw this already. And I agree. I think, well, first off, I think that whether they meet up or whether or not Batman had prep time, I'm still going to go with Spider-Man here. What many people don't know is that Spider-Man can actually fight. He was actually trained by Shang-Chi when he lost his spider sense, right, and he learned the way of the spider. And so he has his own fighting style, and he has his spider sense on top of that, for those who didn't know. So I feel like Benaya said, he said, it's hard to fight somebody you can't touch, right? And Batman is not touching Spider-Man. Spider-Man is more agile. Spider-Man has a spidey sense. If Batman fought him in pitch blackness, Spider-Man would still be able to hold his own because he would be able to sense everything. It's like Daredevil's radar sense with his blindness. So it's like you can't. And then Spider-Man is stronger. He's faster, and he has the webs. And Spider-Man is smart too, and he has some little tricks up his sleeve with his gadgets and stuff too. So give Batman prep time. Let them meet up. It don't matter. I'm going with Spider-Man.
I'm gonna tell y'all why y'all wrong.
And
all the way leading up to this, I was with y'all, and then I saw one thing, and it's gonna change. It's about to change. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna change because y'all forgetting one thing, and this is I'm gonna give you the initials right there, PJQ. All right, 1 Peter Jason Quill. Star-Lord had your boy at gunpoint by the neck, ready to end it. You can't handle Star-Lord, dog.
Man,
y'all didn't forget about that, man.
Okay.
And
that's MCU though. We talking like overall Spider-Man.
In my rankings of regular dudes, boy, Star-Lord ain't even technically regular dude, but still, like, I remember I saw somebody write that. I said, I said, man, that's hard.
We're forgetting that Peter Quill is half a god here. I mean,
he is, but man, hey, dog.
I feel like it's who.
Batman a grown man, fam. I'm just saying, like, you know, we ain't talking about no set. Hey, and let me tell you something right now. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man ain't gonna last 2 minutes.
What? No, he's the person who would last.
I said
anybody.
Don't do that.
Are you kidding me?
You let old boy slap you twice in the mouth. See, everybody see y'all people get
Look,
I'm old. That's why the Lord
we getting the Doc Ock scene in the whole Spider-Man 2, man. Like, come on, bro.
I'm saying
if anybody, it will be Tobey Maguire Spider-Man who would be Batman.
He's the strongest one.
Literally.
Listen, Green Goblin son, what's his name, Junior, was like, stop talking. I said stop talking. People, see, y'all's too young. I was in the theater when that happened. I was in the theater. He hit him the first time, and I said, "Oh." When he hit him the second time, I yelled out. I literally did. Like I was like, "Ah!" And people turned around. I'm like, "Don't act like y'all didn't see what I just saw." But so I don't know what to say on that. Maybe you want to go Garfield. You gonna go with Tom Holland, but I just feel like, man, all that jumping around at some point, Batman gonna be like, "Okay, son, it's enough of that. I'm done with all that." Yeah, you got to wear, you know, it's gonna be about a good 2 minutes of webbing and jumping around. Batman just gonna look and finally just, okay, that's me. But I don't know. Oh boy, but guys, okay. This is the first show. We got a lot of more shows coming. You'll probably see these guys at another point in this week. We're gonna be leading up to the movie. Then we, of course, will talk about the movie after it's out, because I think everybody's trying to check this out at some point. That might be a big show. But stay with us. We got more. There's a couple other scenarios, but I want to just hit these for sure and talk about them just to see, man. It's just fun to talk about it. So thank you to my esteemed panel. We appreciate it. This is, of course, the We Seen It podcast. Check us out, Mighty Sharp Network. Of course, we got stuff coming out every day pretty much for this. All right, so keep it locked. Guys, I appreciate it. You know what to do. Be blessed. Stay sharp. Thanks, guys.